What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Kaz at the board. Today I'm bringing you a video on 3-star heroes, gods, espers, whatever you want to call them. It is what it is, but yes, welcome, and make sure you click follow and subscribe. On the other side here we have a Chronos team farming 10, so if you are getting a bit bored of me and you want to watch that instead and then listen to my explanation of these heroes, feel free to do that. So we're going to cut into the chase. We're going to try and make this fast and effective. Barden we are going to ignore, especially as a new player. Chang Pu is an amazing healer. You have to use Chang Pu. Everyone, if you're looking for a healer, you're looking for sustaining your team, use Chang Pu. She is incredible. Okay, she heals all your allies on their max health up to 100%. Sorry, 15% of their maximum health, plus 100% of her attack. She also grants the entire team immunity for 2 turns once she's ascended. So she is a great Esper. You have to build Chang Pu. She will help you late game, early game, especially if you don't have a like for some of these legend Espers. So Chang Pu is a definite build. You shouldn't need to build her any higher than level 50, but early on she's going to help you hugely. Brynn you can use. I wouldn't say she's one of the top ones to use early on. She does deal damage to begin with. This is the issue for me because she doesn't cast her attack buff to all allies first. So we're probably not really going to make the most use out of this attack buff. We're not going to make the most use out of this attack buff. You can use her. If you feel like you want to use Brynn, do. Drew is insanely good. He is a super attacking unit. Hero, Esper, God. He deals damage equal to 260% of his attack. Now if he kills this target, he gets a bonus turn which deals 150% attack, and that attack ignores defense. This can be triggered up to 2 times within 1 turn. So Drew is a huge nuker. Okay, he also causes defense down for 2 turns on his second ability with, again, another big nuke. So do not ignore Drew. He is a solid Esper. He will help you a lot. Not only early game, if you don't have the likes of Ling, then late game he's going to help you with Chronos. We're going to move on to Liao. Liao is an Esper that no one's really talking about, and they should be, because he is granting your entire team 20% speed in points war. So if you don't have the likes of Nut or Tai or Liao Ming, then you have no one granting your team speed as an ability. So that in itself is huge. Okay. He also does a damage on his ability that causes Devour, which takes that unit out of the game for 2 turns. But they cannot be selected, they can't be damaged, they also can't be buffed or debuffed. So make sure you remember that. The main thing we're looking at is his captain ability. He does another damage dealing effect which also heals himself slightly when he's dispelling buffs. Q, as there's been a lot of hate around Q, I'm sure you all know, so we're not going to talk about Q in this video, okay? And she's also a shimmer. Melanie is also a shimmer, so we won't talk about her. Zalma, ignore. Hall, ignore. Tang Xuan, ignore, especially for those of you starting out. We're on to Freddy, the werewolf. Fenrir, the beast everyone loves in any game. He is a big nuker. Again, he deals damage equal to 260% of his attack to a target. He dispels 2 of their buffs, and the damage of this also increases by 5% per 10% of his lost. Now don't forget, he can lose health and he can survive because he has standoff, which retains at least 1 health, and he can be killed. It's also increasing his attack by 40%. Now with this, he's probably going to fall into, say, his basic attack, and that will deal damage equal to 120% to an enemy. And if he has less than 50% health remaining, he attacks again, so you're going to get a double hit from him. So he could essentially carry you through some of these hard chapters where your team's been nuked out, but he survives and he can get that final killing blow, dealing damage equal to 120%, and he gains an extra 30% of crit rate and ignores 20% of defense. So yeah, he can save your team. Between Fenrir and Drew, it's a tight call for me. They're both very good. David we are ignoring. Lauren we are ignoring. Charmers we are ignoring. That's a fact. They are 2 shimmers, and David is just, I don't have enough information on David. Berenice, Bastet. She's used for fusing for Breeze, so if you put her, great, because you're going to need her. You're going to need her. The thing with Bastet is she grants a shield to your team, but that's based off of her maximum health. So we want to have the maximum health we can for her, but at low level we don't have a lot of health, so we're not really giving ourselves a massive shield. And we also want to have a buff team, because the more buffs we have, the bigger shield we grant. So I would steer away from Bastet to begin with, on this basis that she's more for a higher level. She needs to be higher level because we have more health then. Layla we're going to pass on. Leon is a single target nuker, but I would still much rather use Freddy or Drew. Helena is no good for us. She has no captain ability. She has a small heal and she grants crit rate up. She's just not used. She's not used. Yesu Hua. Okay, you cannot obtain this Esper from summons, but you can obtain her from ripples, which you'll see in world chat. I know world chat is toxic, guys. Please don't get offended by world chat. You will have to just ignore what people say. Okay, there's always going to be one troll, okay, or maybe 10 or 50 that you see there, because trust me, you see them. It's shocking. But you need to be watching that chat for the ripples, because you need to get Yesu Hua, unless one of your friends manages to pull a ripple for her and farm it. You need to do it 5 times to get enough discs to summon her. She will help you hugely in all content, especially later on. She is incredible. Unky Chai. Unky Chai is very good. He grants attack up to a team for 2 turns, reduces the ability of cooldowns on a teammate by 1 turn if attack up buff is already present. Attack up buff will be present because we have his passive, which grants crit rate up for 2 turns and attack up for 1 turn to 2 random allies at the start of each turn. It reduces ability cooldowns by 1 turn if attack up is present. So 2 allies will have attack up. Their buffs will, their cooldowns will be reduced. But we want to build him fast. We want to build him fast, so he's going first. So we're getting that attack up in for the whole team. Then we're going to have our nukers ready to nuke down these teams. He also has his basic, which increases his attack points by 25%. So Unky Chai is another solid choice for the buffs. For the buffs, we want that attack up. Jeanne is another great. She's controller. She's 3-star. She deals damage equal to 120% plus 12% of her max health. Dispels all buffs and inflicts stun. So she's dispelling the buffs, then causing stun on that target. Her second is she deals damage equal to 90% of attack to 3 random allies. Now these attacks also have a chance of inflicting stun for 1 turn and absorbing 30% of their attack points from each target, which is huge. Again, her basic has a chance to stun. All of her attacks have a chance to stun. So if you haven't got a controller in your team, you're needing a controller, which you most likely will early on. This 3-star Esper is great for you. She is great for you. That does depend on which legend you choose, and we're going to head to that now. You get the choice between Ling and Tang Xuan. If you're choosing Ling, you won't be using Jeanne. If you're choosing Tang Xuan, then I would possibly use Jeanne. The reason for this is because Ling is a big AoE nuker. He attacks all enemies 3 times, dealing damage equal to 38% of attack plus true damage equal to 6% of a target's maximum health. And remember that damage is scaled or limited to 80% of his attack. So if he has higher attack, we're going to be dealing more true damage, especially against bosses, which is huge later on for the likes of Kronos. We're going to be using Ling for that. His last strike steals 10% of the target's attack points. Attacks an enemy 5 times, each dealing damage equal to 36% of attack with 50% of damage dealt converted into healing. Each strike also deals true damage equal to 6% of a target's maximum health, and the true damage is up to 80% of his attack again. So this is great for bosses. This is great for bosses like Kronos. He is very self-sustaining. He deals a lot of damage. He is a great hero. Put him on Hades. Put him on Hades, sir, and he is a great farmer for you early on. Tang Xuan is, I'm going to say, underrated. More people are steering towards Ling. I don't know if that's a good choice or not, guys. For some of you, because he grants these enchantments, which is inflicts disease for 2 turns upon damaging a target and death, inflicts additional damage equal to 5% of the target's maximum health, under 50% of attack. So it has to be under 50% of Tang Xuan's attack of his max health damage. Shaco has a 40% chance to inflict defense down, so he's causing a lot of debuffs. Diseased means the enemy cannot be healed. Defense down means defense down 60%, which is massive. Remember, this hits all enemies twice, so you have this chance of causing both of these to all enemies, which is early game massive, because it means the enemy can't heal. It means that they're all weakened in defense, which is great for us, especially Arena too. He's great in Arena for that. He absorbs all current enchantments and grants a shield with strength equal to 10% plus 5% of maximum health per enchantment. Remember, our enchantments are here, so it's 15%. Attacks an enemy dealing damage equal to 200% of attack. This attack restores health equal to 10% of his max health, so it's Tang Xuan's maximum health, we get 10% back. Again, our basic deals damage equal to 120% of attack to a target, plus damage equal to 50% of attack to 2 other random enemies. So we're hitting one with our full damage, and 2 other random enemies are going to get hit by 50% attack. Then with a chance to grant Scorch, Death, or Shackle enchantment prior to each attack for 1 turn. Imbues damage with all current enchantments, so we can then cause more debuffs. Just like Ling, they both have an increases ally attack by 30% as captain ability. We're going to ignore these, we're going to do this on another video. The 5 stars and the 4 stars. The only 4 star we're going to be looking at here is Mona. Now if you have Ling, then you can use Mona. Use Mona along with Chang Pu, Unky Chai, and either Freddy or Drew. No, we're not using a Freddy or Drew, we're going to use Jeanne. What am I about? We're going to use Ling, Unky Chai, Jeanne, Chang Pu, and Mona. Yeah, because we have 2 AoE hit damage dealers, which is enough. Chang Pu, who's going to sustain our team. We have Unky Chai, who's going to buff our team. And we have Jeanne, who's going to cause crowd control. We're going to stun, we're going to dispel. So that is your team for that. Unky Chai, Jeanne, Chang Pu, Ling, and Mona. And if you're choosing Wukong, we're gonna use Wukong, obviously. Wukong, Mona for some extra AoE damage. We're gonna use Chang Pu for the sustain, the healing. We're gonna use either Drew or Freddy. Now it's close between these 2, and I'm gonna say it's more your personal favourite of what you want to use. They're both very good, both very effective in their own ways. So we're gonna use Wukong, Chang Pu, Mona, Drew or Freddy, and we're going to use Unky Chai for the buffs, for the attack buffs. We're not going to use Jeanne on this team. I hope that gives some of you some insight into thinking, well, okay, I can use some of these 3-star heroes, gods, espers, whatever you want to call them, because they are good. They are good, they are useful, and I hope that this video has helped all of you decide on what you're going to do. I want to say thank you to everyone for viewing. I want to say click that subscribe button or follow. Catch me on Twitch, you can watch me live stream, you can ask all the questions you want. Make sure you comment below and I'll respond to your comments, and hopefully I can help you with your questions. Thanks again guys, I'll see you all very soon. Kazakh the Bull is out.